Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Part 2 of the Sega Saturn upgrade. This time we have got the Switchless region mode mod for the VA0 board. Now you saw last time we did the FRAM upgrade from the, is it the SRAM? So that will now save happily even if the power has been cut off with the battery gone. I don't know entirely if it will go permanently and it will save there permanently, but yeah, let's hope. I've tried giving this a little bit of clean, but it's kind of mucky, but we're all doing a lot of soldering anyway, so we'll get round to this. Now, the mod kit which I've got is from consolesunleashed.com. Now, if you want to follow this, I'll try and put the description below of where you can get these from. The actual guide I'm actually using, which isn't exactly for this board. Now, there are different types of VA0 boards, which confuse the crap out of me. But I've been reading, and I've spent a couple of days just coming in, looking, unlooking, trying, whatever in, and yeah, I get the idea of exactly what I'm supposed to do with VA0. They will do different mod kits for your different boards for the Saturn. They do other things, there are loads of things with Segas. They do for, oh, what else do they do? Let me look on here. Mod kits, Nintendo's, Sega, SNK and Sony's. They also do services for those and Panasonic. So they will do it themselves, just take this out. They can do it for you and then they'll bring you back with all done. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm just trying have a go, but this is really confusing me. Now, bear with me on this. I'm going to explain as much as I can, and then it might be a case of ta-da, it's done. But if you can follow with the installation guide in front of you while I'm trying to explain what is where. Now, let me get you to the actual chip itself. There, right, simple as. All we've got on here, mind the tweezers, this is how small it is. You need to find 5 volts, a ground, JP1, 6, 10 and 12 need soldering to this little board. Now the L1, L2, RB, is it RB or RR, or is it R1? I can't even tell myself, to be honest. The L1, L2 is for the LED which you get with this, and the R's are for the reset button. Now I think there's something that this mod chip does which either disables the mod chip or you need to do something with it. Hence, you need to remove this, which is your reset button. Now, what it asks you to do, I think it's one of the, this trace, hold that there, I'm pointing, this tracer you need to cut, and I think you need to solder there and there to the 2 cables that come with this, which, let me zoom out a little bit, come on the end with a connector which will disconnect for when you're going in and out of the machine, which is great. I don't know whether or not it's something on here which removes the ability to do this or not. I don't fully understand. I will just follow and hope for the best. But it must be a case of the switch just does not work. But you must, oh, what is it? It's to switch mods. It should be an automatic one, but to switch the mods, I think you press and hold, but it will change the LED that you get with it. Not for these two here, for the access ones, actually for your power light on the front. Now, my biggest problem is this is a 3-colour LED, or a 2-colour, whatever. It's got 3 prongs on the bottom. It's not a standard LED with 2 pins on the end. However, this isn't what they show in their instructions either. These are 2 LEDs, because this is the Japanese version, the VA0. So, what you need to do for the LED mod, to make sure that you can see that it's swapped regions, is the center one wants soldering to something in focus. There are pictures online, but I think it's actually, oh, let me get down to this a second. Time to tell, they have a really big picture, it's really well zoomed in. It looks like it's the common one, which I think may be the left hand side one here. For this, we will check this at the end. I could be wrong. But with that one there, you don't solder any of these other ones in. You remove this completely. What you do with the LED, you don't actually fully solder it to this little board here. You'll solder it to the other two cables off of here. So that will actually show you, it will be the common that you're soldering to here, so that's like the ground. But one light will give you one colour, one wire will give you one colour, one wire will give you another colour. So as simple as that. So we need to modify that, we need to modify that. On here there will be enough faffing around that we need to get along with. Right, from the top, I'll try and keep you in as close as we possibly can, I think I need for this. Right, from the top, from the cartridge port, you've got here the power. No, you haven't. You've got the AV and an AV. So the AV port's at the top. You want, on the first one, JP1, which is on the mod chip. We have JP1, 6, 10 and 12. These on the right hand side coming down here, right? So from N on, 1, 2, 1, 6, 10, 12. A cable needs going from this board here, and if I can see this properly, it is these here. I must remove the mask from this center pin here of these three, so I can solder and put a cable to that, which on the other side does go to the jumper 1. I know there are other methods out there, but this is the one I will be doing. Further down, let's have a look. Coming down past these two lovely big chips, the VD2, which is also VDP2. There's also a method for this one as well, that you remove that leg there and solder a wire to, and then goes all the way to whatever switch in. It is possible. That is a second method. I am not using that one. So let me come back down to here. Where are we now? I think it's to these. Right. There's a 5 volt there, power supply, which I must go to, and I haven't even showed you that yet on the board, is up here, 5 volts and a ground. So 5 volts is there. Surprisingly, ground is here. So it's quite close to it, and we'll be securing the whole thing just above, right about here, just above where we put the FRAM. Bear with me again. So left of the FRAM is here. We need to be soldering on, and good luck to me on this one, pins 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will go to jumper 6, pin 7, which will go to jumper 10, and pin 8 will go to jumper 12 on this. No cutting of the traces, no cutting of anything else just yet, no pulling up these pins here. You can actually do it to some of these holes here, but I am not that brave. This is too small of electronics for me to see at my age, to be honest. But yeah, bear with me and I'll try and do as much as I can. Now, that is for all the wires I need to go to this board. Where are we? There we are. On the underside, this is why it's probably best looking at the actual instructions yourself. This is me trying to explain it. On the underside, I want jumpers 1 and 2, which are there. And I want jumpers 6 to 13, which aren't... Ah, right, okay, they're below. Right, they're down here. So jumpers 1 and 2. Oh no, just not enough focus. There we go. Jumpers 1 and 2. I need to remove, if I can see this, I'm not even sure if there is. It says remove that, but that isn't. That's just a piece of solder. I'm sure it means there's something else. Underside, remove cap. What? It must be, there is something here that I can't see, but I need to get the magnifying glass on here anyway. That can't be a cap coming from the other side. Bear with me a second. I can't even tell. But it's according to this, it says remove cap. Okay, so to get down to jumpers 6 to 12, straight down but left a little bit. There they are. Now according to this, I need to, this is probably from an English one, I'm not entirely sure if, see, I can't see the traces, there are already traces on here. I need to cut number 7. If there's a line in there, then that needs to go. I need to cut 10, and I need to cut 12. Again, this is for the Japanese VA0 Sega Saturn. Whether or not you've got 6, 8, 9, 11, 13 already got something on there, I don't know. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try and zoom, not zoom in, but I'm gonna get this closer. See if it will focus. Oh, come on. You know you can do it. I tried this with Eagle Moss models and it does actually work sometimes. Nope. There's a certain angle, there's a certain amount of zoomage I can do with this camera that physically actually moving it to it will do it. Right. And I know jumper 9 has got a line across it. But I want to take off 7, 10, and 12. 12 doesn't appear to have anything on. 11 definitely does. 10 doesn't. 9 does. Does 7. See, this is possibly the proper configuration for this. That it's just doing the VA0, which is a UK version, which is this is a UK site, is based not far from where I am anyway. So need to either cut, or if we haven't got anything cut there, sorry for moving around, I'm just going to get a little torch, see if I can find anything, if I can see anything. There's definitely something on 6. Definitely on 9. But that's where a multimeter comes in, you see. So I need to cut those. Bear with me for there, back in focus. And that should be it. So, turning back over. I'm not confident with this. This is the problem. So I'm a little bit nervous. But it should be fine. So first job's going to be, I'm going to stick this in place where it thinks I need to stick it in place, which is kind of just above, around about, be a little lower than that, but that might be, oh, that'd be fine, on top of my wire from the other mod. Right, now that is exactly where it wants me to put that. So I can solder from, solder to. Good, because there's nothing there that I'm disturbing. That will be out of the way, that will be ready for where the cables will come out towards the reset button and the reset light and the switch light. Yeah, I know what I mean. Hope you do too. So, all being well, this should be really quick and be, yeah, let's get on with this. I'm going to start off with, do I start off with the cables or do I start off with, well, I don't have to, because I can start with the cables anyway onto these boards, so I can leave this out for a second anyway and just get on with doing these mods first, and then we can crackle on the actual thing, crack on with the board. So I'll get on with this, show you what's going on afterwards. All it is, the LED for LED, cable for cable, cable for there, and a trace cut for that one, and that should be it for these parts anyway. But know me, something might go wrong. Let's hope it doesn't. First part done. Right, the LED is done in my hand with the extra wire on. So with the VA0 with 2 LEDs on the front, you've got to put it on this way around, the far right, the centre pin of the 3, that's the common, that's on the right hand side, which goes all the way up to this top connection here, which is for your ground anyway. If it's wrong, it'll go pop. And then on the other 2 pins, wire off. It doesn't matter which way around it goes. I mean, actually, it probably might do, but it depends what colour it'll turn on at. One might be yellow, one might be red. It doesn't fully matter so much, or I don't get the idea that it matters so much. So far, these extra 2 pins, got these 2 cables going to the connector, which can go into the left-hand one, isn't it? Yes. So, they're very tiny little connectors. So that can go on there, which is done. Fine. Happy. And that will plug into the board as well to get yourself the common. So that's fine. Done. Happy. Second one, the reset. The reset switch. Again, you don't want that side. The reset button is there. You cut this trace here. I'll get you in a little bit better. Hopefully that will focus. There you go. Cut that trace. I went a little bit over, but I'm still not cut into it. And then either side, you want the RB, the red one on the lower. Well, it shouldn't really matter whether they've been reset, but I'm following guidelines exactly. RL, the black one, on the top for the centre of the 5 pins there. And this will then connect to the opposite corner. I will be taking these off anyway because they're in my way. Well, that way, that way. Yeah, that way down. Very tiny. So that part is done. These can be screwed into the board. Actually, I'll probably screw these into in the case, should I say. Take these off, put them into the case. Red to red, black to black. Easy, easy. So these are done. These can go in the case whenever I want to. Now, second part. We turn the soldering iron off. According to the instructions, I need remove mask. My hardest one is going to be JP1, which connects to there. I've got a bit of thin cable, which this is very thin, but I prefer if I had some solid core thin cable, but I haven't. So whenever I strip off the outer, it's going to rip off some of the copper inside, but if I could find some in here, I would use it, but I can't, and I haven't. So using cutters to strip is not a good idea, but it's the only one I've got. Now, that I need the tin, which is putting solder on the end, and oh my god, it's that centre one there. I think I need a blob. Oh, actually, that's gone straight through. I wonder if... Well, you can't see that at all, that's just tiny, but there is a... I'll push that straight through. If that will work, that will go through there and through the side anyway, so I can probably just solder that on the bottom side of the board now instead of just being on the top. But just state remove mask JP1, which is the centre. So that's with that one. Then I've got the, remember the ones down here and here, I think. No, not there and there. There and there. There, and then down on the chip. So again, it's looking good so far. This is the hard part. So we're going to get on and see what this looks like after I've done this, and then we'll get on with the jumpers and see which one of those are connected and which ones aren't. So bear with me, let me fully back out, and we'll get on with this and see. Yeah, stop dawdling, Ralph, and get on with it. Okay. Ta-da! That was difficult, shall we say. Right. Let's get you in to start with. First jumper. Actually, let's go for the power. The power there. Let me give me a pointer out. Where's a pointer? There it is. Right. Power there. Goes all the way up and attaches right to here. The earth next door comes over and connects to the bottom of this. There's no components at all there. Let's connect there. Your JP1 or jumper 1, which is over here. This wire comes all the way up, all the way around, and goes to here. It says remove. It's the solder mask. It's this green stuff on top of here. Scratching nothing, you'll get the copper, but you do a little bit and it takes off where that is only, which makes it easier to actually solder, which I hope will actually works. And then you've got this GP6, 10 and 12. 6 comes down, round, down to this chip here and comes into there. 10 goes there and 12 goes there on 5, 7 and 8. So all being well, leave it to it. And I've also got these graters attached onto the front panel as well with these pots. So if you're going to do this yourself, good luck. That's all I can say. It's not the easiest, and to be honest, I did the Xbox mod, which, on admitting I did cock up one board completely, went over the top with the heat on the soldering, and it burned the board and knackered up so much stuff on there. It was ridiculous. But with this time, looks like I've actually gone quite well. Just calm it down a little bit. Don't have the temperature too high on the soldering iron, otherwise you're just going to mess things up majorly. So, I don't think we have any more soldering to do. We just need to put this back together again, which is easier said than done. So, let me just tidy up on the heat shrink, tidy up the desk, and start to put things back together again. I might do one of them silly fast forward bits with the silly music in the background, and we'll get this back together again as soon as we possibly can. I've just remembered something here. I haven't done the jumpers on the back. Oh, right, let me take it back to pieces again, move everything back out of the way and get the board back out. Yeah, sorry about that. Jumpers time on the back. Right, I've done the jumpers. It looks like you don't need to do anything. Well, you need to cut them all apart from jumper 8 and 9, because you haven't been doing anything with them. 6 and 7 are paired together. 10 and 11, 12 and 13, which is what you've been doing for the extra jumpers along this side of here. Jumper 1 obviously goes up here, but that should have been a component on there, but there wasn't on mine. So all you need to do is just cut across all of those, make sure, like, I've got only number 9 that is actually already done there, so that's perfectly fine. Being the Japanese, it's obviously going to have certain variants with different machines, but I would actually recommend doing this part first, because I've reconnected everything on this side, so there's actually resistance now, so I don't know which one's cut properly or not. It looks like I have done a good job cutting the tiny little trace on there, but other than that, it seems fine. Now I really do need to get a new multimeter. That will be soon, but all I do now is reconstruct, get this all back together now. Okay, now everything's in place, everything's done, all the cables in. I did mark off one of these because I wasn't sure which one of these two was for the switch and which one was for the power light. But I managed to figure out that's the blue, and that's why I marked up, if you noticed, blue paint, well, marker pen on there anyway. All I have to do is put this across and at the same time put this into the power supply at the back, and then I am done. So I'm unsure whether or not to do a third part on this, of testing it to see everything's working fine. So all I have to do with that there. Oh, I'm bleeding again. If I bleed, then it's usually a good job. So that just wants the power supply putting back in, battery putting back in, it wants the power supply cable putting back on and screwing back into place. I need a new one of these plastic things, so I've got one of them on order. I also, the problem with this is I don't have many Sega Saturn games, but ones I do have are all UK. So what I need to do is order a Japanese or a USA or anything that shouldn't play. Actually, with it being Japanese, that's a problem. If a UK will play on this, that might be, yeah. But at the moment, everything's working, everything's fine, and I'm quite happy with it. So I'll debate myself whether or not I need to do a part 3 on this, with testing and playing, which I could do with actually doing anyway. But if I don't, I don't. That's how you do these mods. But go to consolesunleashed.com. and they have all sorts of stuff for you, for all sorts of different consoles. Not paid by them, not sponsored by them, but would be nice. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, consider being a patron and help me out in the channel. If not, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.